Hey guys, Uncle Jay here with another story for you. And if you're new to my channel, check out my content. I tell funny stories about the time, for example, that I saw the world's largest poop at Target. What's another one? Oh, yeah, like the time I had diarrhea and rush hour traffic, bumper to bumper, not moving. I had to hop out of my truck, yank down my pants in front of everybody. Then I started hearing the horns honking, and then all of a sudden, spraying everywhere. You know, like those giant champagne bottles that those drivers at the podium shake at the end of a Formula One race. It's kind of like that. So yeah, check out my stuff, and I wanted to tell you guys quickly about trying to not to get the sun to shine into the camera like that, but I can't help it. About the time I moved to California in the 1980s, when I was a little teenage punk. We lived in a cul-de-sac, and I decided to take my bike out and just ride around. And I left the cul-de-sac and thought I'd just kind of circle around the neighborhood. And I did that a few times. And the next block over, I saw these older kids. And they were kind of like digging into the bushes and stuff right on the corner there. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And I just kept riding my bike. About, I don't know, 20 minutes later, I'm pedaling right through again. Now they're out in the street and they're bending over, doing something. And they see me and they stand up. And I just kept riding my bike. Well, I circle back around again. And they're out in the street again. And one of them says, hey, there's that kid again. And the other guy says, hey, kid, want to see something cool? I'm like, yeah. And I was thinking, oh, fucking, these guys are going to try and sell me pot or something, or make me do heroin or some shit. Because back then they had like the whole DARE program, like say no to drugs and shit. And I went over there and they're like, hey, check this out. And I'm thinking, oh, for sure, they got drugs or something. And what they were doing is they were taking these the plastic cassette cases. Back then, everybody listened to cassettes. They were taking the sleeves out of these cassettes, these cases that you put a cassette in, and they were going into the bushes and they were finding like spiders and bugs and shit and putting them in these things. And they were setting them out on the street, and they were lighting M80's on top of them, blowing up these bugs. I'm like, holy shit. And that's how I met my best friend, Steve DeRozzo. He was fucking blowing up bugs. I don't know if I ever told this story. I probably did. I've told so many at this point. But he also had a terrarium in his backyard called the Tank of Death. He had a couple black widows, brown recluse, some like fighting red spiders. Those things were the biggest assholes. He also had a baby rattlesnake, a scorpion, and the thing that was really fucked up about that tank is he had a potato bug in that damn thing. And it, like on Saturdays, we'd all show up and make bets on who was going to win. And he'd shake that tank up and piss off everything in there, and they'd all start going at it and trying to kill each other and shit. Nothing fucked with that potato bug. Absolutely nothing. Those things are hideous looking. Look them up. I told one of my other stories about camping with my girlfriend. One tried to kill us. It unzipped the tent and crawled in, and I shot it with a gun. And then I threw the gun at it when I ran out of ammo. Yeah, so I wanted to be one of the cool kids and hang out with the older guys. And there's a family from Scotland that moved in a few doors down from them. And back in the 80s, a lot of houses, the garage doors that they had were thin sheet metal panels. And if you hucked a tennis ball at it, it just sounded like this crazy noise that you could hear really loud. And what they were doing at night, they would fucking they were sneaking out of the house at night and go fucking around. And they said that they would kick the garage door and the dad would come out and yelling at him and shit. And I'm like, wow. And I told them I was going to do it. And they're like, no, you don't have the balls to do that. He's going to catch you. I'm like, yeah, watch this. So a few nights later, around midnight or whatever, I sneak out of my house. I'm dressed in black. And I ride my bike down to the street and I hit it in some bushes like 4 houses down or 2 or 3 houses down. And I start just kind of creeping up the sidewalk, up the driveway. And at the end of the driveway, they had these big shrub bushes. These big bushes. And it's where the driveway meets the sidewalk. And I'm like, all right, here's my chance. I start kicking the shit out of that fucking garage door, and I turn around and I book it. I get to the end of the driveway, I hear the door open. I dive underneath the bush because I know I'm not going to make it to my bike. I was a skinny little shit back in those days. Not the fat ass that you see today. And I'm hiding underneath this bush. And I could barely fit under it. And it's probably like waist high, you know. But there's a gap, like a foot long, wide gap, you know, barely enough for me to squeeze under. Then I hear this, and fucking, I hear the dad come running down the driveway, and he fucking stops at the bush. And I see his shoes. It's from me to the camera. I could fucking reach out and touch it. I'm like, oh my God, he saw me. He's going to fucking kill me. And he's just standing there for what seems like an eternity. And then I hear him yell at the top of his lungs, if I ever catch you, we bastard, I'm going to kick your fucking ass! And then he stays there for a bit longer. And I'm not even breathing. And I'm just sitting there, just not moving. And he just stands there for another, what seems like 5 minutes. Then I see his feet turn. He turns, he walks, he goes up back up the driveway. And I just stay there. Because I wanted to hear the door close. And he stood in that doorway for what seemed like an eternity. And then the porch light went out. And I'm still not moving. A few minutes later, boom, I heard the door shut. Then I just army crawled from underneath that bush, got on my bike, and I fucking went home. And it scared the shit out of me. Oh, this was also the same fucking night that I saw my sister. Oh, okay, fuck, I just gave it away. Damn it. So it's like really overcast because we live not too far from the ocean, and that ocean fog came into the valley there, and it was like super thick. And I turned to go down the cul-de-sac, and underneath one of the street lights, you know, like the cover of the fucking Exorcist, how you see that silhouette underneath of the guy, you know, underneath the light. I saw like a silhouette of a girl in a gown underneath the light, just kind of walking slowly towards me. And it already got the shit scared out of me already. Now this is really fucking scaring me. And I stopped my bike, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I shouldn't be outside at night, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm by myself. And I get on my bike, and I start to get a little bit closer, and I see it's my little sister. She's in her nightgown, and she was fucking sleepwalking. And she would do that from time to time. And I asked her, I said, where are you going? And she said, I'm going to Kern's house. I'm like, oh, well, she called and wanted me to come get you to tell you that she's coming over to our house. Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, let's turn around. Let's go back home. So she's sleepwalking, but she's dreaming. And I'm talking to her. I'm like, yeah, let's just watch your step, you know. And I throw my bike down into the front yard, get her up. She goes right to the front door. She walked out the front door. And I'm thinking, fuck, she just woke up my parents. Sure as shit, she did. We get to the doorknob. Porch light comes on. Door opens up. There's my dad in his boxers and cowboy boots. Shotgun leaning against the closet door behind him. Open up the screen door. We come in. He's all, what's going on? I said, I was coming back home, and I saw her walking down the street. He's like, holy shit. And so we got her back in bed. And then we're in the kitchen at the dining room table, me, my mom, and my dad. And he sat there and he said, you know you shouldn't be out fucking around at night. I said, I know. He said, but I'm glad in this case that you were, because somebody could have picked her up and that would have been the end. She could have vanished. Ended up on a carton, a milk carton somewhere. Oh yeah, back then in those days they'd have like a missing child print, like, have you seen this person, you know? And that's what he meant by that. You'd see her on a milk carton. And I said, yeah, just luck would have it. I happened to run into her. And he said, look, we know you're sneaking out at night fucking around. You're not breaking into cars or houses or anything. I'm like, no, I'm just fucking off. And I'd go down to the there's a gated community that has a lake in it. And I'd hop over the back wall and go fishing in the middle of the night, steal people's boats. That's what I confessed to. And he said, all right, look, we can't keep you from sneaking out at night. So I just want you to go out the front door. And I said, okay. He said, just use the front door. Because our window, we could see the yard, and we could see you leaving. He said, we just want to know when you're coming and going. I said, all right. And you know what? I pretty much quit sneaking out at night after that. So, I stopped fucking around. And I haven't been back to that guy's house fucking ever since. Never did kick that garage door. I don't even know if I told my friends. Almost got killed by a crazy Scotsman. All right, guys. High fives and boners. I hope you enjoyed this story. Check out my Twitch channel. Fake Alex Jones, 1776 on Twitch. Collect the channel points and get some free beef jerky that I make myself. Jones Jerky. The Jones Jerky Experience. And check out my other stuff. I do a conspiracy podcast that maybe you guys will like. And you can call in and all that stuff. Lots of fun. Do it on weekends. And I'm going to get out of here. All right. High fives and boners.